look. You can look at them from your seats. If you want to get a closer look, you can move closer and talk to the people around you, including our colleagues, about just what you see and what eco-friendly things are there in these models, what ideas have been put into them. So if you have a few minutes to just look at them, talk to the people around you, tell our partners as well what you see. Okay.
Have a look at the
Get up if you want, have a closer.
Yeah, what do you like about that? It's a CD.
What makes it specific, do you think, for the future? What is it on it that is for the future, not now?
Can I just hear some of the things you've noticed in these models? Somebody be brave and start us up. What have you noticed?
Okay, I see that there are buildings that have solar panels in the top of the building to get the energy from the sun. I see a river and a little bridge, some cars that I suppose that are electric because it's a modern city, and some windmills to get the energy from the wind, a little park to have some green spaces, and I think that's it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The observations from other models. What have you seen?
There is a road who separates the dead zone from the green zone, and there are a lot of trees and the river. I think this can be a solar panel.
You know what is a greenhouse? Does it sound familiar?
I guess it's a house who use the reusable energy or something like that.
I see. So this kind of roof, I wondered what that is. We're thinking that is a greenhouse to encourage the plants to grow. Is that what we're thinking? Did you think solar panels?
Yes.
I thought solar panels to begin with, but I suppose it could be like a greenhouse. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, it looks
So,
like, looks like a greenhouse.
could be.
And you can see the trees. Or maybe it's a kind of ornament.
It's very unusual. It would obviously be new technology that's being developed.
It looks quite modern in some way.
Any other observations on what you've seen?
I can see a little village because there are 3 houses, not anymore. A long river with a red bridge, a green space.
What is happening with the dead zone, Gonzalo? What is happening there?
There
No
are,
trees, there's nothing. Everything's dead. Why do you think that's so?
because the real people need anything for the disabled.
So probably climate change has affected our area, yeah.
It's a very interesting model if you get a chance to look at it, because it is kind of split in two. And you have one side which has got this cover over it, where you can see the plants growing, and you have another side which is quite bare, isn't it? And looks like there's nothing growing there. It's quite a very striking model, that one. Any other observations?
Well, in this, I can see on the top of the building solar panels. Also, the beach and a train.
Train, yes. So we do have different forms of transport, although we can obviously see guess that these must be eco-friendly forms of transport.
But I don't see any cars, is it?
There were some cars down there.
No, I mean in this model, I don't. I think that's probably only just trains or public transport, or they don't use cars.
I suppose you're right that car use might be limited in this town. I do see some old buildings and some new buildings. So clearly it is a town that has been in existence and is being developed. Thank you. What we're going to ask you to do today is think of yourselves as not as students in this school, but think of yourselves as a team of town planners. That's the phrase we use in English for people who plan a town and plan what will be in a town. We're going to ask you to talk as if you are a team of town planners, and I will talk to you as well. We will talk to you as a team of town planners. Could we agree to give that a go? Will you try that? Yes. So,
You be town planners?
talk as if you're a town planner today, as if you've got ideas for developing a new town. Might sound a bit strange, but we give it a go. So, I'm going to talk to you now. I'm going to be in role with you, talking to you as if I'm a town planner, and later on, our partners here in the project will be taking on a role themselves. So I'm going to talk to you now as a member of this team. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming here today. I know I've taken you away from other jobs that you have been doing, but we have got an urgent job to do. I know you've been thinking about ideas for this new town, this new eco-town. And of course it's very exciting that we have got a grant from the European Union to develop our town as a model eco-city of the future. But I know that all our ideas are very at early stages. You can see here that our design team has been making some models of some of the ideas we've had already. But I have had a memorandum and message this morning from Alba in the planning team. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that it's all very last minute this, but this is what she's asked for. The committee asks that you produce case files after the visit to help us understand more about the kinds of people who might want to live in the new eco-town. And Alba signs off saying, P.S. Sorry to drop this on you at short notice. They only told me about the visit yesterday. Which is not a great help, but these visitors are coming here today. And we have to be prepared, it seems, from this memo, to explain some ideas about the town and find out about them and why they're coming here. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that it is such short notice. Somehow we have to get ourselves ready. What I was thinking, we have some materials here that we can show people. I know we also have some images of the town, and we do have some paper, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
We have some card, I think I saw, and oh yes, we have some card. So, I wonder, ladies and gentlemen, if you would do the following for me, please, so we can set this up, so we can explain our ideas to visitors. If you could set yourselves up in a pair, 2 people, and if each pair has a table, and you might have a model, although we are limited in the number of models. You might have some pictures behind you. You might create some signs. But I think if we spread ourselves out, then our visitors can come round and talk to us. Like the kind of trade fair, you might have seen that before. So we can explain some of our ideas. I know this is a big job and suddenly you're being asked to do this, but we have some pens, I think, as well.
Like E.S. Happy birthday fair.
So, if we just, ladies and gentlemen, if we have, can I just check, everyone clear on what they're saying? I know I'm rushing you because the visitors are arriving soon, but are we clear what we need to do? Are you clear? If you're not, then please say.
Just ask. Any questions?
Are you
We know
clear?
what to do. Yes? Yes? Need pairs? 2 people, 1 table?
We're creating as much information as we think the visitors would help them understand what it's like to come here. Is that right?
I think first of all, let's just set up our tables ready for the visitors to arrive and try and get some materials on the tables in a pair, spread out around the room. Okay, so we get sorted in our spaces. Thank you very much for coming. If you'd like to come this way,
only or 1,000? 80,000. 80,000 people. And how many train stations do you have here? How can I get to the town? How can I get to the town? But do the people who live in the houses, they communicate with each other? Okay, so the houses are near. And people, where do people gather together? No, it's the bar.
Yes, that's the weight of my feet.
Can we just hear some thoughts of our visitors and what they have learned so far and what they think of our ideas for a new town?
we're interested. They have like 2 different areas, right?
Yeah.
So one area which is more green to regulate the temperature and stuff.
Yeah, and then it's the residential area.
And they have a special paint so the temperature is controlled in the houses. That interests us particularly.
Yeah.
So new innovations.
I haven't seen a lot of concern towards children.
We maybe need to think about children in our community.
Space for further development.
The man seemed very kind, and he knows that this is a safe place for me, but I'm not sure if there'll be room for me.
They take health very seriously, but I'm afraid it's too good to be true.
Houses are constructed in such a way that they do not catch fire easily.
From what I've seen, I'm a little bit concerned of having so much skyscrapers and buildings that don't communicate with each other. People don't communicate with each other. Even though they have parks, that's in the housing.
I love the way they've set up the energy generated from the wind and the water, solar panels. But it's a shame because I would love my own green space where I could grow my own vegetables or, you know, spend some time in the garden in the weekend, and it doesn't look like there could be provision of that.
So it sounds like they are impressed by a lot of our ideas, but also still have questions about them in some areas. One of the things we were asked to do was explain our ideas, but also find out from our visitors who they are, why they want to come here, what their needs are, what their hopes, what their issues might be. So if now we can change it so that we are asking them the questions. So if you could choose somebody, it might be the person you're talking to already. You might want to give them a seat so you can talk to them and see what you can find out from them about why they want to come here, because the committee needs to know this information. I think we need to get a good idea of the people who want to come and live here. So if we could start again, please. Thank you.
Why are you interested to live in this town?
I brought her here because in England the hairdryers were not wrong. It was a lot of waste of water and waste of energy. So when I heard about your town, I brought it here to learn some things about it and decided if we live here or not.
With the baby, I'm thinking better, and I feel
Can we just hear some thoughts from our team, what they have learned so far from the visitors and their issues and their problems and their needs? Can you tell us something that you have learned?
He has come from Poland. He's a firefighter. In the city, he's looking for a place where her mother will be better with her or needed care.
So,
and the building, and he wants the buildings will be made with resistant material to keep him protected by
a firefighter from Poland who's concerned that the building should be made from fire-resistant materials. Could you tell us something that you have learned from the visitor?
This city have to reduce the contamination and increase the energy because have to move the water to fabric energy, and with the air and have little green space, but around the city have more. And in the tall building have a solar planet, and all cars are electric, because if you don't have this type of car, you can't pass to the city because the contamination increases.
And how about our visitor? Have you learned things about the visitor you spoke to? Maybe did you learn something from the visitor? Why she want to come here?
You should come into the city because the views are very beautiful around the city. You can see monuments or a lot of things, and it's interesting, and it's a city of the future.
Can you tell us something you have learned about our visitors?
This is a city, an ecology city that hasn't got environment because there isn't any car, but there are bikes, a lot of bikes.
Our visitor here, were you speaking to him? Were you speaking to this visitor, this gentleman? Yes?
He wants to put a factory in the village.
He wants to put a factory. We would have to make sure that it's going to be an eco-friendly factory, wouldn't we? Ladies and gentlemen, it's another message we've had from Alba, that they obviously want to publicise this event in the local media, in the newspapers, online. They would like to have some photos of this event. I know it's a lot to ask our visitors, but they want to have some interesting images. So if you wouldn't mind